Hello, what is up? It is Cody from the Ecco Flipping Podcast. This is episode number 2, and in this episode, we're going to be talking about a bunch of little optimizations that I've been figuring out the past couple months about doing online arbitrage, and just a few things that you can use to optimize your reselling business. A lot of these things, they're not like too significant, but if you do multiple of these different little improvements, it will add up huge over time. So first off, I'm going to talk about what I've been doing with online arbitrage. Online arbitrage, if you guys don't know, is you're basically buying something online to sell back online again. So there's people that buy books on Amazon, and they'll find a seller on eBay, say, that's selling the book for $10, and then they'll sell it for $50 on Amazon, and then they'll make the split. So they'll make about, $30 to $40, and that's basically online arbitrage. You just try to find something that's undervalued, and then you sell it for a higher price somewhere else. Sometimes you can even flip on the same platform if a seller doesn't know what they have. Buy something for cheap on an eBay auction, then sell it for more on the same platform. So there's a lot of different opportunities with online arbitrage. So how do you find these online arbitrage deals? People have different ways of doing it. Personally, I've been doing a lot of GameStop arbitrage, but I've talked to a bunch of other people on Instagram that were lovely enough to help me out, and I messaged them like, hey, where have you been successful doing online arbitrage? And people have been saying Walmart.com, which I've done before, and I made pretty good money from that. People do Target. People do, I even heard of Kohl's, Macy's, basically anywhere that has any inventory, and they run good sales. You can find a good deal and resell it back online. I know a bunch of the shoe sellers. They do Finish Line, they do Nike.com, they do basically any site that has inventory and has a good sale. You can capitalize on that. So another thing is, how do you find these good sales? So you might go to, say, Nike.com, and you see that a sneaker is $100, $120, and online it's selling for $80. How could you possibly go and resell that sneaker? Well, a lot of these different sites, they have sales that they run. So either you have to use a promo code for, like, say, have a Nike day for 20% off. You use that promo code. Sometimes they have specialty discounts. So, like, I know for Nike, there's people that use student discounts, and they actually have to buy the student discounts from somebody's Instagram account. They'll find like a quote-unquote plug for the promo codes, and they'll get 20% off their whole order that way. And then there's a bunch of different little optimizations that you can do. Like, you can be on their email list. Sometimes they'll send out sales for various websites. If you're a member already, then they'll give you a certain discount on goods, just different things like that. So it's helpful to be on their email list. It's also helpful to follow like certain Twitter accounts that show daily deals. They'll show different insane deals. So what I'm trying to say is there's a large variety of where you can find these good deals at, but the hard thing is knowing about them. So I would say try to get on a lot of email lists that you can, so you know when the good deals are. I would suggest making a different email so it doesn't spam your personal email. Just have like a separate business email. What else is there? There's even some Instagram accounts too. Mostly Twitter and Instagram. People usually like Twitter because you get the notifications right away, and links are easier through Twitter because Instagram you can only do the link in the bio. But some people on Instagram, they'll have like a link in a bio to their website, and then you click on another link, and then you can get to the deals that way. So I'd say both platforms are good for those quick links. I also found there's even apps in the Play Store. I bought this app called the J23 app, and it was $2 from the Play Store. This dude named Nova the Botter Boy, he's basically one of the main people that do shoe botting, which is basically you just have a software that checks out as fast as as fast as possible, and gets you your items right away. It does it faster than any human can possibly do for the most part. So yeah, he was saying in one of his videos, hey, download the J23 app for sneaker updates and they call it shock drops, when they'll just randomly drop some limited sneaker that, say, it's worth 150. Well, it retails for like 150 bucks, but then it's worth $230. You'll get the notification on the J23 app. I don't get any like commission for saying this. I've used it before and it was pretty good, so that's why I'm just saying it, to help you out, you guys. And so now we're gonna go into more of what I've been learning about recently. So if you guys don't know, there's a thing called Rakuten, and basically you can have if you have Chrome, like the Chrome browser, and you go to the Chrome Play Store, you can download Rakuten. And what that allows you to do is it allows you to, say, on different sites, it gives you a certain amount of cash back. So say you're buying something from Nike.com, usually they'll give you 8% cash back. So if you're spending 100 bucks, you'll get $8 back in free cash back. I'd say the only downside to Rakuten is there is a price to pay for that $8 cash back. Just a disclaimer, I do believe they track what you buy, and they might track some of your information, but they're basically exchanging your purchase information for cash back. So they're a reputable company. They don't just give out people's credit cards or whatnot, but they for whatever reason make money off of the buyer transactions, or maybe they get a small affiliate of what you buy. So that's basically what Rakuten does. And I also use Honey, and Honey allows me to, it does the same exact thing as Rakuten, where it allows me to get cash back on certain sites, but sometimes it allows me to get gift cards. And those gift cards, so say I'm buying something, and I'm spending like $100 on GameStop, right? And then it says, hey, you can use a gift card, and then you can get you can basically buy a gift card for $100, like a $100 gift card for $95, and then you'd save $5, and then you also use the cash back, so it just starts adding up. And gift cards are also a really good way to increase your profits, because the thing is with these gift cards, I don't know how I guess people just get these gift cards and any user can sell them. Because I was wondering where's the origin of these gift cards? Why are people selling a $100 gift card for $95? Honestly, I think it's a little bit of ill intent people that are sort of like scammers in a way, but they're like, you won't get scammed. But I think there's also just regular people that say they got like a gift card from their grandma, and they don't want to spend all of their money at I don't know, Target, and they want to spend it at Best Buy. So they just want to sell their gift card, their $100 gift card, for $95, get their $95, and then spend it at Best Buy. So that's just kind of how that works. So basically, when checking out online, if you use gift cards, you can, from these sites, you can get an extra $5 back, and then you also have the cash back from Rakuten or Honey, whichever one you want to use. So then that saves you a few dollars. And there's also like certain sites on top of sending you different email online deals and whatnot. Like for instance, GameStop, if you pay a subscription, if you pay $15 a year, they'll allow you to get double the amount of pro points that you would usually. So on every purchase, so it ends up, for GameStop specifically, but other sites sort of have different programs like this too. So you'll spend $100, you'll get $2 back. It's kind of the same with, like, if you guys are familiar with Kohl's, they'll give you Kohl's cash if you spend a certain amount of money, and then you can use the Kohl's cash and then you end up spending more money, and they keep on giving you Kohl's Cash. It's kind of like that. They have like little reward programs. So when you're doing online arbitrage, it's important to optimize the little reward program. So for GameStop, for instance, I'll use the Rakuten cashback. I'll also use gift cards, and then I'm also a pro member, so then I get another 2% on my purchase. So all in all, I'm already saving around 8 to 10% on my order, and I've just recently figured out other ways that I can increase that percent. So but we'll get to that a little bit later. But I'm saying one really important thing to note is these different subscription services or memberships that are tied to these specific companies. You can optimize these little tiny benefits, and then say you're spending $1,000 at Walmart, $500 at Target, whatever it may be. If you optimize these little tiny benefits, it will add up. And if you're already gonna resell the goods from there, and say you're making a 30-40% profit off of it, you can increase your profits to 35, 45, 50% by just using little methods like this. So another thing that I want to note is personally, I was really scared of credit cards. I used to listen to Dave Ramsey, and he said that the normal person spends a lot more money when they use a credit card versus cash, because cash, you have sort of an emotional connection to it, and if you hand over a $100 bill to somebody else, it hurts a hell of a lot more than when you just swipe in your credit card, because it just feels painful when you hand over your money. So he was saying that if you use a credit card, it leads to you spending more frivolously, and you just kind of spend more than you need, and you don't think about it as much. And he said that's the point of credit cards, is they get you that way. They want you to not think. And so he encourages people to cut up credit cards. And I've personally had some family members and friends and just people that I've known that have not used credit cards wisely, and they've had to pay over 20-25% interest rate on their cards, which is absolutely devastating. But if you're responsible, if you're, I like to say, big brain about it, then you can use credit cards, and they'll actually benefit you a ton. You can get like free flight miles, you can get free cash back, and the main thing that I'm talking about here in reselling is the free cash back. And there's a lot of benefits with optimizing credit cards for reselling. So just talking about specifically cashback, if you just use a card, basically anybody, after they build their credit for a while, they can get any credit card that has a 2% cashback, which is pretty crazy. So if you're already going to be spending $100 on something to resell, you can get $2 cash back. So that's just another $2 in your pocket. But what I started to learn a little bit more about was, on certain sites they'll give you more cash back than others. So for instance, Target has a card where if you spend money at Target, you'll get 5% cash back. So I think you can see where I'm going with this. If you use your Target card at Target, and say you're buying some sports cards or whatever it may be from Target, you're getting 5% cash back on Target. And say you spent $1,000 at Target, you're going to be getting $50 back. That's pretty crazy if you ask me. And yeah, there's many other sites that have their own specialized credit cards that you can use, but if you're going to use credit cards, you have to make sure you're in a financial spot where you're not going to worry about like $1,000 to $3,000. You need some buffer room just in case you have a family emergency or whatnot. I wouldn't want anybody to use a credit card and not be able to pay off the balance the next month. but I'm saying it could be a very useful tool if you have a credit card. Say you really like doing arbitrage on Target, then you can use that Target card and get a lot of money in cash back. And then you also use the Rakuten. You also use Rakuten. You use your gift cards and your Target Target credit card, and you pay that off. You'll end up saving a ton of money and increase your profits a lot. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about here is credit card churning. I've heard of this, and I've heard of it's a very lucrative process currently for credit card churning. It's credit card churning. Personally, I've been very interested in it. I've seen people like Flipping Miles on Instagram, and he does credit card churning. And basically, what the whole process of churning is so say there's a Chase Sapphire card, and you apply for the card and you get the card because you have good credit score. They run different. All these credit card companies run different promotions and whatnot, and different things with their cards. So say for that card, you have to spend $3,000 in the first 3 months of owning the card, and then you'll get $300. They'll just pay you $300 if you spend $3,000 in those first 3 months. So if you think about it, and then you also have the cashback bonus. So if you think about it, if you were to say spend $3,000, I'm just going to use Target because I've been using Target as an example. If you were going to spend $3,000 at Target to buy stuff to resell that you think you can resell for $5,000, the benefits start to add up a lot. So with the $300, that's that's 10%. That's basically a 10% margin you're making if you spend $3,000, right? You're making $300, so you have 10%, and then you have the 2% cash back, so that's basically 12%. And then you also use Rakuten, which will probably give you 2%, so you're getting another 14%. And then if you can use any coupons or any deals or whatnot from the site to increase your profits, that's great. But what I'm saying, if you use credit card churning, you responsibly use credit cards, you use a service like Rakuten or Honey, and you use gift cards here and there, you can increase your margin by over 15%, which is pretty crazy, and that will give you a little bit of edge against your competition. But these practices are pretty lucrative. I've heard with credit card churning specifically, a lot of the credit card companies don't actually want you to do that because they're basically giving you free money, and if you have to be very smart about it. So you can't just apply for like 5 cards and want to churn all of them, and you have to spend $15,000 in 3 months so you can get all the benefits of all of them, so you can make your 10% profits. I wouldn't suggest doing that, and a lot of credit card companies will actually crack down on you, and they'll completely deny you because they know your intent. They know what you want to do. So I've heard from other individuals that you should only try to churn one credit card at a time, maybe every 4 months or longer. Just churn one credit card, maybe every half year, every 4 months, and get the benefits from that card, and then close the card, and then do it with another card. But you just have to be very careful about it. You have to make sure that you're not going to get any trouble about it. I've also heard with credit card churning, it can lower your credit score because you're opening up all these different credit cards, and from what I've heard, that does lower your credit score if you keep on opening up a ton of credit cards. So what I'm saying is, it is a very lucrative process. It is definitely not for everybody, but if you if you optimize it, you know when to get the benefits, reap the benefits of these cards, close the accounts, use them responsibly, which is, I'd say, 95% of people usually cannot do that, or they're not interested in doing that at all. So it really only benefits a select few, and it's also important to remind ourselves that a lot of the ways that these credit card companies make money is they make money off of the people that can't pay their monthly balance, and then they'll charge those people interest rates. So the vast majority of people, well, not the vast majority, but a good amount of people can't pay off the monthly balance for their credit card, and I'm saying that this information is not for them. And if you're very worried about money, then I would highly suggest not trying to get into credit card churning. I wouldn't suggest even using a credit card at all. If you're not responsible with a credit card, I would not suggest using a credit card. But what I'm saying is, if you're really responsible with a credit card and you are into reselling, or you just want some cashback bonuses, or you're just a normal person that wants to get an extra few $100s a month, and they want to run all their bills through these credit cards and then just pay off their balance, that's one way for you to do it. You can make a few $100 extra a month just doing that alone. You don't have to resell to do this. But I'm saying, if you're already a reseller and you know the importance of these different tools like Rakuten Cashback, optimizing these different credit cards, and credit card churning, you can significantly increase your profits. And I just thought that was pretty crazy, and it's been on my mind for the past couple days. And I think this is really cool because it allows you to get an edge over a lot of your competition. There's people out there selling items for less than they bought them for online. And I feel like this, if you optimize it, it gives you a good buffer room of anywhere from 5 to 20% margin, which is actually kind of crazy. And yeah, so I know that was a lot to take in, but that's basically been my thoughts about credit cards, credit card churning, and optimizing for these online arbitrage deals. And yeah, so I think lastly, I'm just going to be talking about my experiences with online arbitrage recently, and what I've been doing, and just where I'm at in my journey. So right now, the past few weeks, I've been looking at deals. I'm usually a person that likes going into retail stores like Ross, Marshalls, and Burlington, and some other stores like Walmart and Tractor Supply and whatnot. But recently, I've just been doing online arbitrage, and it's been pretty interesting. I found other resellers. It's kind of funny. Ever since I started looking for online arbitrage, people that do online arbitrage, and just reaching out to people, I've just started to find a lot of people that also do online arbitrage, and it's just been really cool. And so yeah, so I used to just go to stores in person, and now I'm realizing there's so much potential online. I found people that like scalping GameStop. There's this dude on YouTube called Phoenix Resell, and he talks about how he finds game deals on GameStop, and then he sells them on Amazon.com. I like selling games on eBay a bit more, but his main thing is buying games from thrift stores, retro game stores, garage sales, and then selling them on eBay and Amazon, but mostly Amazon. And I thought that was pretty cool. And he shows all of his openings on his YouTube channel about what he bought on GameStop.com. And as you can see on the side of me, I also do have some games over there. And yeah, so the thing about online arbitrage is the deals are really crazy sometimes, but they go really fast. Like if you hesitate, you're not gonna get a good deal. Another thing with online arbitrage is one of my early mistakes I posted on my Instagram story. I bought a bunch of Funkos, and I thought I would make pretty good money on them. I'm actually surprised because I thought I'd make a loss, but I think I made 40 or 50 bucks, but I was expecting to make like 200 and something bucks. So not the best, considering that I invested around like $350, but it was a lesson learned. And that lesson was, before you buy something online, it is very important to know the return policy. This Funko Pop I got in person, and it wasn't disclosed what type of sticker it had on the box, and the sticker was not the special edition sticker that I thought, and the special edition one was worth $60, and that one was considerably lower. It was $40. So what I'm saying is, it's very important to know the return policy of these places before you buy the stuff, and even after you buy the stuff, because you want to make sure you can get your money back. So, for example, for GameStop, they have a 7-day return policy. Recently, I've gotten some games from GameStop. They've sent me the wrong game. They've sent me game cases without discs. They've sent me all sorts of things that either I didn't get, or they simply didn't ship my items sometimes. And I've gotten refunds for that, but I've had to call them within 7 days and resolve that issue. So it's really important to know the return policy of these stores, and it will save you a lot of money before you do an impulse buy. And it's also just nice to have that peace of mind that, like, hey, I can buy this, and if this doesn't work out, I can return it. I know that's not the best mindset to have, but I'm saying that it's good to know that you can return it, just in case something whack does happen, something weird. Maybe the box comes in on a shoe, it's all crumpled up, or they ship you it without the box. Things like that is very important for the value of the item that you're trying to resell. And yeah, so my online arbitrage journey, I'd say I got kind of gatewayed in because I was interested about botting, which is basically you have a software that lets you check out faster than a human, and it allows you to take stock on a website. So say a lot of these online arbitrage deals, it's very helpful because a lot of these online arbitrage deals, they'll sell out in mere seconds or instants, and you're only one person. But if you have a bot, the bot can act as 3, 4, 5, even hundreds of people if you set up with different proxies and whatnot, and it can attempt to take stock for you. So instead of you just being one person, you're all of a sudden 5, 10 people. So it allows you to have a higher, usually, it's not guaranteed, but usually a higher chance of obtaining your desired item. So that's kind of how I started to get into online arbitrage. But I've noticed that if you find sites that say have, so say like eBay, for example, it is a site that has a lot of traction. But if you go to different sites that are obscure, that nobody's heard about, or they just don't really go to that often, like GameStop.com, like not everybody goes to GameStop.com, they go to Amazon. And then that's why a lot of products are higher on Amazon, because everybody just loves shopping on Amazon. And GameStop has a hard time selling to people because they just buy everything on Amazon. So they have to have lower prices because they have pretty much lower online foot traffic than Amazon. And they also run different deals than Amazon sellers and whatnot. But what I'm saying is their platform, I'd say overall, gets a lot less traction than Amazon. And so I've heard that you can go onto very obscure sites like DHgate and a few other different online retailers that are sort of like Walmart.com, or basically just any online. If you can find any online retailer that doesn't have that much foot traffic but runs good sales and has good products, you can find that product, and then you can resell it on a platform that has higher traction for more than likely more money. So that's just kind of what I've been thinking about with online arbitrage. And yeah, but mainly I've been looking for GameStop deals, and that's been pretty lucrative. I've spent I'm talking about this like I'm an expert in online arbitrage, but I've spent a decent amount of time in these past few months looking, just paging through some of trying to find good online arbitrage products. You just gotta sit there for like 2, 3, 4 hours, just going through all the pages, looking up every single item, seeing how well the item sells, seeing what you can get it for, the lowest price you can get it for after you use what I talked about earlier, after you use your Rakuten, your credit cards, your gift cards, and the different using the different promo codes from the online sales, and seeing how low you can get that item to go, and then selling it somewhere else that has a higher traction, and seeing how much profit you can make. But personally, I spent a lot of time going through all of the pages on GameStop.com trying to find those niche games that are about to be out of stock, buy out all the stock for that game. Sometimes I'll buy a game and I'll just see how well it sells, and then I'll wait to sell that game, and then go back and buy more. Other times I'll see a game, I'll know that I'll basically never be able to see this game again. Maybe it's like a retro game that they only have 3 of. I'll buy all 3 of them, so then there's basically nowhere else that anybody can get it other than eBay, and then I'll put it on eBay for a higher price, wait, and then when everybody else sells out of their item, I'm all of a sudden one of the 3 people that have the game, and then the game goes up in value. So that's just kind of how that works. And yeah, so I like doing GameStop arbitrage because I just really like games, and I know games, but I don't know. Like, I know there's a lot of opportunity for other things online. I've heard people scout Macy's and Kohl's all the time. I don't know much about Macy's or Kohl's, but if I was a clothes seller, I would probably love doing that because they have a bunch of new clothes. They have a bunch of different decor items. They have, I don't know anything about toys. They have some toys that people sell for pretty good money on Amazon, but I don't know too much about that. But I do somewhat know about games, so I like doing games. I also know a good bit about shoes now, so I've been looking on arbitrage on Nike.com. I'm going to try to branch out and start looking on deals for Finish Line, because I know there's a lot of resellers that sell shoes that they got from Finish Line onto eBay and the Go app. And yeah, so I think from here on, I'll basically try to stick with what I know. I'll keep on doing GameStop arbitrage. I'll start trying to learn about Finish Line, and I know there's a bunch of different other shoe online stores other than just like Finish Line and Nike.com, but I gotta learn more about that. And that's just kind of where I'm at with online arbitrage. And so far it's been pretty good. I do really like the idea that I don't have to leave my house and the items just come to me. But there is a lot of work involved trying to find those items. But once you find it, it feels really good. I'd say it's just as good as when you're in person and you find that thing and you're like, I know this is worth money. It's kind of like that. it just gives you kind of that like, for me it's kind of like a high. You're just like, oh yes, I found this and I know I'm gonna make money on it. Online arbitrage is definitely different from just going to like a thrift store or retail store where you find a product and then you sell online for more. But it's pretty interesting because you get to see like thousands of products just while you're sitting at your computer, and it's pretty chill if you just like to, if you don't like going to the crowded stores. Or I know there's some people that say for Black Friday is like a huge day for resellers, right? There's some people that say, oh, I'm not going into stores this year for coronavirus, screw that, they don't want to get sick. And they're like, I've been having so much success with online arbitrage, I'd rather just buy 200-300 pairs of Nike shoes from my bedroom and make 3 times as much money than going and standing outside in a line at Nike outlet to fight over 5 pairs of shoes while there's like 10 other resellers there. They'd rather just sit from the comfort of their home and use their bots or just try to manually check out as much stock as they can from their computer. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and I've heard other people talk about this. One of the greats, Stevie D, I think that's what his name is. He was saying that online arbitrage is the future, and eventually, if you think about it, eventually the retail stores, they won't entirely die, but they're definitely going to die back a lot, and mostly everything's going to be online. So I feel like the skill of being able to identify an item that you can make money off of online is going to be very important in the future, and I think it's just going to be a great skill to know. And yeah, so this has been the Ecco Flipping Podcast number 2. Thank you if you watch all the way through the end. I hope you have learned some good tidbits from this video. If you have any questions, I am open to it. Please send me a DM on Instagram at EccoFlips, or you can leave a comment in the comment section. I will answer your comment. I try to make the information that I display as clear as possible, but I know sometimes I might sound a little weird or slur my words or whatever. So if I said something and you don't understand it, please ask me a question. Or if you just want to ask me any question, or you want to be on the podcast or whatever you want to do, please send me a DM. I'm happy to talk to people that are interested in reselling or just interested in any of these like credit card churning. I'm really interested in that. If you don't even resell but you just love credit card churning, I'd love to talk to you. That'd be amazing. Thank you guys for your time. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This has been Cody from Ecco Flips, and have a good one. Bye bye.